free, and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline, very.
I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Good morning on this fine, beautiful, amazing Tuesday. It is 7:01. Tuesday, March 28th. My gosh, the first quarter of the year is almost done. It's springtime and we're excited about new projects, new ideas to get going this year. And to be able to complete these, we need to be able to lead. We need to be able to lead ourselves, be a leader for ourselves. We need to be able to lead the people we love and care about most. We need to be a leader in our businesses. We need to be leaders at home. So I wanted to go over 10 tips. Holy smokes, double digits, 10 tips that we can apply, that I'm trying to apply for myself consistently to be the best leader I can be. It always seems like the leaders get the opportunities, that the leaders live more fulfilling lives, the accolades. And so this concept of leadership is what excites me about it. It's becoming more accepted. Like, you don't have to own a Fortune 500 company to be a leader. You can be a leader at home with your with your parents, with your kids, with your siblings, with your friends. And we can do this the right way. I've been reading, I didn't bring the book down here. Gosh dang it. I've been reading this book. It's called Leadership in Turbulent Times. It's a history book. It's from 4 of the presidents: Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, FDR, and Lyndon B. Johnson, and kind of like their stories, their life and leadership, how it applies, and the craziness that they went through, everything like Lyndon Johnson, homie, going through the civil rights movement. Also, Lincoln, even a step farther back, the Civil War, right? So kind of cool how they are applied, how the writer Doris Goodwin, shout out to my favorite author. It's crazy how with history and great people, you can see where leadership goes right, where it goes wrong. So we're going to take 10 leadership tips that I've been picking up from the book. And also yesterday, I was just doing some digging on some articles and online research. 10 points that I really liked for leadership. So we're going to go right to the board. I got 10 of these to bang out real quick. So I'm going to be pretty quick on them, but these are going to be 10 tips that you can apply for your leadership skills to make you a better leader today. And the challenge today would be able to apply just one of these. Just one. If we could apply one, that is a victory. So I got my show notes over here with me. Number 1, leadership tip. Number 1, lead by example. Lead by example. Lead by example. Number 1, lead by example. I put that at number 1. I believe this is the most powerful one. We need to lead ourselves. It's really hard if you cannot motivate yourself, if you cannot get yourself into a positive state. It's really hard to get other people to do the same. We can see this. If you are going to be demanding with what you need to get done, make sure that you are able to hold that capacity and hold yourself to a high threshold. So it's not just pushing and everyone's like, oh, wow, this guy's just sitting over here being lazy, versus like, wow, he's really pushing himself. He believes in this purpose, in this mission. So leading by example. Number 1, how can you lead by example today to get other people to do what it is that you want and you think will be effective? Number 2 is communicate. Communicate. And I'll just put communicate effectively. So communicate effectively, that's just F on the end. Communicate effectively, being able to, maybe it's slowing down when we're talking. Sometimes I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I can just get so wound up that I'm not able to communicate effectively to my coworker, to my family member, to my client, what it is I'm trying to say. Not everyone is, there's a reason why your job is your job. And then part of your job is to be able to communicate what it is that we're trying to do for the other person. So thinking of, how did Albert Einstein put it? He's like, if you want to really learn something, you have to be able to teach it to a fourth grader. I think that kind of lines up with effective communication. So if we can just take what it is that we need to say and look through their point of view and think, okay, what is the best way that they could understand this? In the leadership book, Lyndon Johnson, he was the youngest Senate majority leader. And a huge part of it was he was able to communicate so well what it is that needed to be done that would still benefit from them. He was leading by example and communicating effectively. Number 2. Number 3, inspire and motivate. Inspire, motivate. Am I going to have enough room on here? We'll see. I'll start writing them shorter over here. Okay, inspire and motivate. What did I put down in the show notes for this? Leaders inspire and motivate their followers to reach their full potential. So if we could just motivate people, and I think a lot of these kind of work into that, and motivation and inspiration, for me, it has a lot to do with energy and how I show up. Maybe it's even my body position. I'm not saying, you got something stuck up your butt, but you're just chest out, chin up. Maybe it's positive energy, the inflection in your tone, being motivating, and you're inspiring the other individual. But this is another tip that leaders are able to do, able to motivate, able to show up, able to bring that necessary tone and affection. Number 4, be decisive. Be decisive. Be decisive with our decision making. Be able to make a choice. Decision making is so important for leaders that they're able to decide this is what we want to do and this is where the group is moving, so everyone's on the same page. Being decisive. Number 5, build trust. Build trust. Building trust can take time, and it can be even more difficult nowadays in this online world. We want to be able to build that powerful trust. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Learned that 1,000 times in school, and now I'm trying to apply it to the real world. I work virtually most of the time with my clients, a few exceptions, person to person. It's if we can show up on time, if we can lead by example, if we can communicate, if we can do all of these tips that we're taking in today, it's going to be that much easier to have trust. What are some other ways that we can build trust? Maybe we have testimonials of what we're doing. I'm trying to rack up more testimonials for my life map and working with people. And it's like, yeah, this is really helpful. This is changing my life for the better. Being able to take that and convey that to other people can help with trust. Just overall experience has always been to me to help me with trust. And also just keep checking in with people. How are you doing today? What's going on with you? And just being having a lot of offers to help support other people. And as you're trying to inspire and communicate, this can lead to trust. So we're trying to think, how can I help people to the point that they trust me? How can I build trust for this relationship? How can I build trust to become a better leader? Number 6, embrace change. Embrace change. Embrace change. You see the big companies, I think it was, I don't want to screw it up. It starts with an L. It's a giant financial institution. It's like Lerner or Geez, I'm drawing a blank. Apologize. But anyway, there's a big financial institution, and the leadership did a terrible job of embracing change, and then they ended up collapsing because other people started going to other banks, other financial institutions. So if we don't embrace change and understand that people are continuously evolving and changing, think of yourself just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, who were you? What were you doing? What was your ideology? What were your values? And then look at where they are today. So you can see, as to be a good leader, we have to be able to understand that people are continuing to evolving, they're continuing to grow, that they're continuing to change. And by God, can we just give people a break? Not everyone's amazing in everything, so giving them a break and understanding change is continuing to evolve. So we as leaders are able to understand, register the landscape, see what is changing, and then how we can help facilitate this change. I think we all as human beings want to continue to evolve, continue to grow, to continue to impact people on a high level. We're trying to change. And then if we can match how we change with how other people are trying to change to the point and help them get to the point where they want to go, I'd imagine that's pretty good leadership right there. That's pretty good leadership. If we are able to help people support their changes in life, we can be better leaders. So embracing change, helping change. Number 7, collaboration. Collaboration. Number 7. Collaboration. Hope you guys can see these over here in the top corner. Number 7, collaboration. Being able to collaborate with the people that we know, like, and trust, the people who we're starting to trust. And we see that our company's starting to move in a direction. Our vision of what we want to do with our own lives is continuing to change. We're collaborating with other people, like-minded people with different skill sets, right? That's why we make different hires in the company. That's why we have assistants. That's why we have different types of clients that help make the business more enjoyable. If we're able to collaborate with them and we're able to get feedback and we're able to learn and grow for ourselves, we can become better leaders. So learning to collaborate with the people who we need to build our leadership skills. Number 8, develop others. Number 8, develop others. Number 8, developing others. One of the biggest parts about leadership is kind of taking this teacher role. And this takes something I underestimated when it came to trying to implement a lot of leadership skills and developing others. So that's really what the business we're in here is. We help people create these life maps in 6 weeks so they can develop themselves to the point they can take that and they can really understand and have an anchoring system when they don't feel great and they want to continue to keep improving themselves. So we're developing others. And so something that I really underestimated was how much listening this really takes. If we can just be better listeners, I think it can be one of the biggest ways to impact and help develop others. So maybe that's one of the challenges today. You're thinking, how can I be a better listener to help develop this person? So you're thinking, oh, how have I learned so much in the past? I sat down and I was talking out loud. I was just spewing out my journal. I was able to get out what it is I was saying. Maybe you were talking to one of your coaches, your mentors, your bosses, something along these lines. Good leadership is allowing the development of others as you're trying, your trial and error. FDR was notorious this from that book. I was just trial and error, being okay with the decision being decisive that he made, and then being able to help develop others by listening to what they had to say, the expertise they were able to bring to the table. And that's why I was able to make such a big impact. Developing others. Number nine, taking responsibility. Take This is a tough one. Responsibility. You wouldn't want to be in one of my lecture halls. I'm writing all over the place. Who knows? Maybe I'll be a teacher later down in another life. But take responsibility. So if we are able to take responsibility for our own actions, gosh, that's such a good one. Take responsibility for where I am right here, right now, because of all of the actions and decisions that I've made. I truly believe that. I'm a big believer in choice and the power of choice, and us taking responsibility for when things go right. We give credit to other people, and when things go wrong, we take the blame for ourselves. We've all heard this in history books, in school, or just online videos. You learn about leadership, maybe trainings you've already had at work. It's like, push the credit off to other people. Take the blame when it comes. If we're able to do this, imagine how well we are able to do. We're able to develop others when we're leading by example. We're able to lead by example by taking the responsibility when it comes our way. We're not scared of the repercussions of being decisive, the decisions that we've made. You can see how these all really start to work together to form some incredible leadership, but sometimes it is impossible to apply them all at once. So understand, okay, I'm going to take responsibility. This is the decision I made because I truly believed this is the change that is coming, and I want to build trust with this other partnership. So now I'm going to take responsibility for this decision. Taking responsibility, and that leads to the last one, number 10, and that would be integrity. 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 Being able to lead with integrity. At the end of the day, one of the greatest things that we can do is we can be honest. We can just be straightforward, and we can show up. If we can just show up, if we can be honest, and we can just lead with integrity, with who we really are, because people don't want you to be fake. People don't want you to pretend you know what you're doing when you don't know what you're doing. So show up and be willing to admit, I don't understand this. This is to my best ability. Or don't be scared to reach back out to others for collaboration. If we don't know, then we got to figure it out, right? We got to go to somebody who does know. We live in the information age. There's no reason we can't go find an answer. I truly believe that. All problems are solvable. So with integrity, we understand where we're at. We understand that everyone is a leader, not just the CEO of the Fortune 500 company. I'm a one-person business, and I still believe I can be a leader every single day, whether I'm coming onto the show, whether I'm talking to my family, whether I'm talking to my friends, whether I'm working with new clients. I can show up and I can apply this. I can lead by example. I can get up every morning, and I can do this at 7 a.m. every weekday morning 1,000 times to lead by example. That is possible to push ourselves. It is okay to communicate, to learn how to communicate. It is to inspire and motivate the individual. I'm making the decision, be decisive, as we're kind of running through these as a summary to wrap this up. Building trust with you, showing like, okay, this kid's clearly on the path to wanting to help people, to support them, to lead them, to be a better coach. Building trust, embracing change. This is the online world, so we're kind of pushing things online, virtually, collaborating with my coach, with my mentor, with my family, with my friends. I collaborate with people all the time, trying to think, okay, how can I make this better? I don't care who you are, where you're from. I believe I can learn something from you. This was, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. It was one of the presidents in the leadership book. He was like, everyone knows something that you do not. And the sooner that we can accept that, the sooner that we can collaborate more effectively. I'm not saying you got to take advice from everybody every time, everywhere, and apply it. But, use your filter. Be smart. Be a leader. Improve those listening skills. Developing others. Leadership, that's where fulfillment can come in. Take responsibility for the actions that we have. That's one way to develop leadership. And act with integrity. Be consistent. Do what you say what you do. That old adage, absolutely beautiful. So here was 10 tips. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys can read that moderately. I'm trying to decide whether I want to continue to write in cursive or if I should write in plain text. When I write in plain text, it's kind of slower. So versus in cursive, I can kind of just blast right through it. Also, I can't write regular print with my right hand as well. So leadership, these are 10 tips to help you become a better leader. Today's challenge, let's go ahead and get that in the comments section real quick before we get out of Dodge. Today's Tuesday. It's going to be a busy one, but it's going to be a good day. So today's challenge is pick one of our tips and apply today. Pick one of our leadership tips, right? Today's challenge is to pick one of our leadership tips and apply today. My personal favorite is leading by example and taking responsibility. I believe if we can just do a few of these leadership tips, we can truly change the world for the better. Big believer in, if you want to change the world, you got to change yourself. Cheers, friends. Thanks for tuning in this morning. This was episode 242 of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show. Also, make sure to be joining us live tomorrow, 7 a.m., where we have one of our guests on, Matt Thomas. He's a social media coach. He's a real estate agent and investor in the Chicagoland area. Total badass of a guy, and we're really excited to have him on here. Hear about what he's got to say about personal development, his own businesses, and how he applies, hopefully, some of these leadership tips himself. So looking forward to that. Be on the lookout for that. And also, we will be having a guest on Friday at 7 a.m. If you know anyone who you think would benefit coming onto the show, someone who embodies personal development, who is a real go-getter, who inspires change and wants to help people, please connect them with me. I'm trying to have hundreds of guests on here. I think that'll be really fun and really good for the brand. So that's all I got for today. If you want to work with me exclusively in a coaching capacity, I offer the Life Map plan. This is a 6-week challenge where you're going to have to go through. You're going to have to get your goals. You're going to have to get your values. You're going to have to get your purpose. Why do you do what you do? You're going to have to answer these tough questions with me, mano a mano. But it's an awesome program. It's absolutely changing lives, and we're really proud of it. So make sure to check that out. You can send me a direct message for more info on the coaching stuff. So that's all I have for today. Friends, family, fans, clients, everyone, I hope you all have an amazing, beautiful, fun-filled Tuesday. Make sure to enjoy the day. Apply one of these tips, and I'll catch you on the next episode bright and early with our guest tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, with another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show. Cheers, friends. I'm out of here. Until next time.